Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Henk. Most people know that Henk is short for Henry or Harry, but it actually started out as a medieval diminutive of John. Henk essentially developed from Hankin, whereby Han was short for Johan, a German and Scandinavian form of John, and kin was a Middle English diminutive suffix. So Hankin was basically a pet form meaning Little John. It eventually got truncated to just Henk in England. Separately, the Dutch brought Henk to the New World colonies in the 17th century, Henk being a diminutive of Hendrick, Dutch equivalent of Henry. This is how Henk developed as a short form for Henry in the United States. For the most part, Henk has been widely used as a nickname but hasn't seen much success as an independently given name. Personality of the boy named Henk. The number 7 personality is deeply mystical and highly in tune with their spirituality. They operate on a different wavelength than the average Joe. Spending time alone comes easily to 7s, as it gives them time to contemplate philosophical, religious, and spiritual ideas in an effort to find real truth. 7s are wise, but often exude mystery as if they are tapped into something the rest of us don't understand. They love the outdoors and are fed by nature. 7s are constantly seeking to understand human nature, our place in the universe, and the mystery of life in general. This makes them quite artistic and poetic, but they are also keen observers with high intellect, so they are equally scientific-minded. 7s are charitable and care deeply about the human condition. Popularity of the boy named Henk. Henk first appeared on the American male naming charts in 1946, rose to levels of SOSO moderation in the mid-1960s, and then retreated into obscurity in the 80s and 90s. Henk took a hiatus for a while as he completely disappeared from the top 1,000 list for 20 years, 1989 to 2009. This name only recently returned to the charts in 2010 and has jumped into position number 692 in 2011. Obviously something influenced this sudden return to the charts for Henk, and it's probably the popular series Royal Pains on the USA Network featuring a likable character named Dr. Henk Lawson. This Hamptons doctor gives Henk some much-needed white collar, or should we say white coat, pride to counterbalance the redneck hillbilly association many people have with Henk, such as the character Hank Hill from King of the Hill. Country music lovers think of the 3 generations of Hank Williams who have been entertaining audiences for over 70 years. Still, we think Henk is better left as a nickname rather than a legally given first name. Quick facts on Henk. Gender, boy. Origin, English. Number of syllables, 1. Ranking popularity, 626. Pronunciation, Henk. Simple meaning, John or Henry. Characteristics of Henk. Eccentric, mystical, solitary, wise, intuitive, philosophical, imaginative. Cultural references to the baby name, Henk. Literary characters of the baby name Henk. Hank Rearden is the male protagonist of Ayn Rand's 1957 novel of individualism and objectivism, Atlas Shrugged. Henk is an impossibly good, self-made man. He is innovative and risk-taking, strong and independent. He is the antithesis of the sorry creatures who expect to live off of the labor and earnings of the creators in society, a group who are subsidized by a proletarian government. Somehow, Henk is surrounded by such people, as represented by his wife, his mother, and his younger brother. Only when he meets Dagny Taggart and, finally, John Galt, does he come to find the soul's kinship that only such exalted beings may enjoy. In spite of all this, Henk truly is likable. His devotion to the honest pride he finds in his labors, as well as his struggle to reconcile his obligations with his conscience, make him very appealing and somehow comfortable to us. He is one of us, whether or not Ms. Rand intended him to be. Popular songs on Henk. A song by Aaron Tippin, Talking to Henk, Straw Hat and Old Dirty Henk, a song by Charlie Pride, a song by Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Has Anybody Here Seen Henk, The Ghost of Hank Williams, a song by Keith Urban, a song by Freddie Hart, a song by Guy Clark, a song by Neil Young, a song by David Allan Coe, a song by Bare Naked Ladies, The Great Henk, Here's to Henk, Are You Sure Henk Done It This Way, Hank Williams said it best, a song by Stonewall Jackson, Hank Williams Guitar, a song by Stuart Marty, a song by Mo Bandy, The Night Hank Williams Came to Town, I Feel Like Hank Williams Tonight, From Henk to Hendricks, a song by Jerry Jeff Walker, a song by Robert Earl Keen, Mission from Henk, a song by Hank Williams, Jr., Me and Hank and Jumpin' Jack Flash, If You Don't Like Hank Williams, Kiss My Ass, There's a Little Bit of Hank in Me, Ballad of Hank Williams, a song by Mark Chestnut, Hank and Joe and Me, a song by Waylon Jennings, Hank Don't Fail Me Now, a song by the Waterboys, Hank and Joe and Me, Hank Williams, You Wrote My Life. Famous people named Hank. Hank Blaylock, baseball player, Randall Hank Williams, Jr. Country musician, Garland Hank Cochran, country music singer, songwriter, Henry Hank Baskett, baseball player, Henry Hank Jones, jazz musician, Shelton Hank Williams III, country musician, Henry Hank Greenberg, baseball player, Henry Hank Aaron, baseball player, Hiram Hank Williams, Sr. Country musician, Henry Hank Stram, football coach, Henry Hank Azaria, actor, Clarence Hank Snow, country musician,